if you feel uncomfortable holding people accountable, then you have no business being a leader. And I was like, oh shit.
Welcome to another episode of the Reside Platform Podcast. I am your host, Suneet Agarwal, and today I am stoked to chat with Jessica Boswell, founder of the J. Boswell team in Connecticut. Jessica, what's going on?
Hey, what's up? Happy it's Friday. Going into the weekend.
Going into the weekend. I can't wait to talk. So Jessica is not just a top performing team leader, agent, and speaker. She also, which is kind of cool, is a brand new coach at the Reside Platform. I'm really interested to hear about that. Jessica's story and her journey is really cool, for building a standout team to helping others grow in the business and like fitness and stuff like that, which we're all into, right? So I'm super excited to be here with you today. Jessica.
I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, good. So tell everybody like where you're from and a little bit about your real estate team.
Yeah, for sure. You're so enthusiastic.
Just a little bit.
All right. I won't talk too much, right? I'm from Connecticut. I was a scientist. I've been asked this question on every podcast I've been on. So I was a scientist for a decade, decided to hop into real estate, fell in love with it. And it just grew from there. It grew from, I was on 2 teams and really found my passion for the industry. And when I went off on my own, I had tunnel vision and wanted to do things right. And then found Reside. And so much has happened since then, like an unbelievable amount of transformation.
I think something cool that I don't hear too often is that you were on other teams.
Yes. Yeah.
Weren't you an admin on a team once upon a time?
I was not. No.
Okay.
I was a listing agent on my first team and a listing agent on my second team.
Okay, way off.
Then it allowed me to really see what was working and what was not working. And I brought those things into how I operated my team. I had incredible mentorship on my first team. She saw something in me that I did not see in myself just yet. And the director of operations is her sister, and she hated how how aggressive I was. I remember during our 90-day onboarding, I was supposed to be setting appointments for the Rainmaker, right? And I set an appointment with a FISBO, and I was like, I'm going on it. So I prepped myself. I went on it, and when I got it under contract before it went live, she refused to help me with dot loop. I didn't even know how to use dot loops. I did it all myself.
Oh man.
It was funny, but the leader took me under her wing and made sure that I learned a lot. And then on my second team, I got great leads. I got great internet leads, no training, but great leads. So I took that training element from the first team, the internet leads element from the second team, and brought them together. That's part of my philosophy.
I love that. That's so great. So you recently just became a coach for Reside. I put the hat on especially for you in this episode. What are you most excited about in this new opportunity?
Yeah, potential for growth, potential to help other people. When you asked me at first, I was like, this is terrifying, but yes. Like I've said to so many things in my life lately. And when I say those things, really good things happen. And I know that this is going to be huge for me. I already have my first mentee, and we had a great first meeting. And
oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's just really cool to see how other people run their business. And I was like, all right, how am I going to make the most of it? I'm going to design this questionnaire so I can learn all about her business and understand exactly what she wants to drill down into, and find out what her personality is like and what her background is like and what's most important about her personal life. And yeah, I don't know. It just brings it to a whole nother level. And I feel even more a part of the Reside family than I did before, which was a lot. So
that's awesome. I love that. I can't wait to see that journey. Are you coming to John's next week?
I am. I'm excited.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'll see you in a week. Yeah, for everyone listening and watching, we're doing a mastermind at one of the co-founder, John Cheplack's newer ranch in Louisiana. So we're going there for the first time in a week, and it's going to be really cool.
It looks so cool. Yeah, it looks really peaceful. It'll be nice to mastermind and get away and have s'mores by the fire.
Yeah. What do you hope to achieve with the people you get to work with in the coaching to Reside?
What do I hope to achieve? I hope to help them reach their goals. I mean, that's the ultimate. I wouldn't consider myself a good coach if I didn't listen to what they needed and then show them what I've done to make that work, or connect them with the proper resources that can teach them as well. Like, I have honed in on every little bit of information, every document, every video, every soundbite, every meeting. Like, I pay so much attention to all the Reside information and all of John's products and Nick's products. And I feel like I have so much to interject here and there, everywhere from white glove listing all the way to leadership and accountability too. I've absorbed so much information and learned so much over the past 2 years. Like, I can't wait to share it to help people in their businesses. It's going to be great.
That is awesome. I'm glad I asked you that question. That was a really good answer. Good. And you also just switched up the brokerage that you're at and you went over to LPT.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
What made you make that move?
Yeah, a lot of people are asking me lately. First and foremost, it's a great recruiting opportunity. I firmly believe that agents on my team are going to be taking more money home. And that's
Absolutely.
going to be attractive to agents that are paying ridiculous splits at other brokerages, or like franchise fees, or even caps that are too big. Not everybody wants to build a rev share downline. Some people just want to practice real estate, right? And take more of their money home. Yeah. And Robert Palmer is extremely interesting and seems really passionate about what he does. And I just love all of the choice he gives the people that partner with him. One of the gaps in my business was paper marketing products. So I absolutely love that he provides postcards, mailers, door hangers, brochures, like all of that stuff. We have an aging population here in Connecticut, and I think that's really attractive.
Oh, smart.
Downsizing, right? Also, going back to the compensation model, a lot of agents are struggling right now. So, like, how wonderful is that they could only pay the $500 per transaction with a $5,000 cap? That's awesome. Maybe otherwise they would have to get out of the business. It's smart. The market is hard right now, and we need to be smart about it than what we offer our agents.
Yeah, really good answer. Did you know that I was at LPT too?
Sure did.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Making sure. So we've talked about this in the past, and I really want to talk about it more. But like, you talk about like concierge style experience for your clients, right?
Yeah.
So like, what's that mean, and how do you make it happen?
Oh, okay. It means exactly what it sounds like. Like, it's not blowing
Good
smoke.
answer. Yes.
And it takes a lot of preparation and coordination and organization, like on the back end. I knew, even like as a solo, that I wanted to offer a level of service that far surpassed any other agent in my market. Translating that into a team has been interesting because I've had to put all of this stuff in place for all of the listings that have come our way. I mean, we do everything from, now it's like, if you're not doing professional photography and a staging consult, you're like, what are you even doing in this business? But, right? So a staging consultation, a deep clean, a pre-listing home inspection, a home warranty that covers not only the seller, but also translates through to the buyer. And then we have an in-house videographer and photographer and production team who has an assistant helping with marketing. What else do we do? I mean, Zillow listing showcase, brokers opens. We coordinate all of the quotes for our clients that do not have time to worry with about contractors not showing up. It helps them get their houses ready for the market. Does it cost a lot of money? Yes, it costs a lot of money. But I firmly believe that the quality is going to speak for itself, and it's going to separate us from the herd.
So you have a great product for when people hire you to sell their house.
Oh my God. And we have the buyer equivalent. There's nothing better than what we offer in Connecticut. Nothing. I know
it. That's awesome. Perfect. Did you guys catch that? She said, I know it. That's conviction. I was on a podcast earlier. He asked me about recruiting, and I went into the same spiel you've heard me say on stage probably 4 times, maybe every time I've ever said it. I said, you have to be a zealot in what you believe. And ladies and gentlemen, Jessica Boswell is a zealot in her level of service, which is great. One of my favorite words, by the way, zealot.
Zealot.
Yes. As you were talking, before I ask you the next question, oh man, you do more stuff at the listing than we do by a lot.
A lot. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even mention everything. I didn't even mention like all the stuff
I'm
that
sure.
goes into the actual marketing like package.
Good for you. That's awesome. Let's talk about the team and some of our favorite things to talk about, recruiting and leadership. At least some of my favorite things to talk about. What's the biggest thing you've learned about finding and keeping great people on your team, for your team?
One of the biggest things that I have learned is getting rid of the myth that you can have a small number of agents producing ridiculous amounts. That's one of the first things I had to accept.
Good job.
Yeah. And one of the second biggest was something that you taught me that had to do with accountability. And I'll always share it, like in every meeting where we're talking about that, right? You shared a book with me about people that choose to be leaders and why. Why do they choose to be leaders, and question the motivations behind leadership? And one of them was like, if you feel uncomfortable holding people accountable, then you have no business being a leader. And I was like, oh shit. I've got to figure it out. Why? And I did. I finally came to the conclusion that it was just a selfish thing, that I felt uncomfortable holding people accountable. And I had to stop. I had to get my ego out of the way. I learned that leadership is extremely uncomfortable. It just is. And it can be even more uncomfortable, I think, for women, right? Because we're perceived as whatever, the B word.
Oh, yeah. I never think about that. You're absolutely right, though. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So those are two of the biggest things that I've learned about retention. I think the people that should be on your team want the accountability, and they want to know that you care. So
if whether they want it or not, if you're around me, you're going to fucking get it.
Yeah.
I was on a team meeting today, and I think I've told you this, but everyone listening, like every Friday, we've moved away from doing one-on-ones due to my schedule. Let me be just straight up. And I do a group call for agents who are active, who are on company provided leads. So every Friday I do a meeting, and yeah, it's just straight fire for an hour. Sometimes it's less fire, sometimes it's shorter. And today, one of my senior agents who I absolutely adore, we were all talking about leads, and my sales manager said, hey, I've been calling some of your guys' leads, and I got people who want to buy houses. And then one of our top agents said, well, I don't want anyone to call a lot of my leads. And I was like, well, and then one of my other top agents said, I don't want people calling my leads either. I'm like, look, we got standards. We also have assistants. I'm going to call my damn leads if you don't follow the standards. Yeah. I hope this is uncomfortable. I want you to know, like, this is real stuff. If you want to be a great realtor, you have to have hard conversations with your consumers and with your clients. Hey, bro, your house is way overpriced. Hey, dude, ain't no one buying this. If you're afraid to have hard conversations, even in your interpersonal relationships, like, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to get walked on.
Yeah.
Was it John who was talking about that on a Monday, saying you got to have the hard conversations or something? Do you remember that?
He's always talking about that. Yeah. You got to have those hard conversations so that it's easier later on.
When some leaders grow their team, they're worried about losing their production identity. I know I lost my production identity, but I did that on purpose, right? How do you keep yours while still doing that? Like, I'm still a badass realtor.
Oh, my personal production identity.
Yes.
I see. Because I've become the badass recruiter and leader. Like, all of the preparation, strategy, hunting, attention, doting on, whatever, pouring into has translated from the client to the agent. All that energy. And yeah, at first I was like, I'm never getting out of production. Like, never.
Right.
Never. And now I feel like there's so much more to be had by spending that time and energy on an agent rather than a client. Teaching somebody to feel the way that I did about servicing clients that's a gift to them. Whether or not they stay on the team, it's a gift.
It is.
Yeah. The way that I poured into my people. I just got a phone call from the daughter of a woman who I sold a house 4 years ago. My mom said you're absolutely amazing and that I should call you. It's time for me to buy a house. And now I will pass her on to an agent that I know uses my systems and has my passion.
What a good answer. God, you're killing it, Jessica. You're killing it. So you are like me and we're kind of geeky and we like getting all kinds of tech and shiny objects. What is some cool stuff that you're using in the team right now?
It's not as cool as like all of your stuff.
Well,
You're
we're
like,
not talking about my stuff.
like, come on. You're like, how about you write an entire series of books for me, design my next memoir movie series, and by the way, build me a house. Like,
yeah.
I mean, my stuff is cool and organizational, but it's definitely not like yours. So I don't know if I have to contribute there.
But for people watching, without me going down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
What is some cool stuff you're using on the team right now that you think someone else would get value out of?
Yeah, I mean, right now, like Monday.com is my favorite. It's my favorite.
Hell yeah, it is.
Building out all the flows of absolutely everything from even minor things. And that's something that I started from the beginning. I wasn't using Monday from the beginning, but I planned out all of my flows as if I already had 50 team members. I remember my admins like, this is overkill. Is this really necessary, Jessica? Yes, because if we develop it as if we have 50 agents now, it's going to be way easier when we do. And so that went from how to treat leads to then obviously TC flows. Now we have such an elaborate pre-listing process that like Monday is the jam for that.
It is.
And onboarding too, like all of our onboarding between what we do on the team and LPT and all the different trainings and all the different software. Like we just sign our people up for like 20 different software accounts. So being able to have automations so like VA do this. And when this is done, okay, we're ready for this I think it is the reason why I can have a bare bones VA staff and still be like highly productive.
Sure. Because of Monday. Absolutely. I have a question for you. For your personal tasks, do you use Monday? Grocery shopping, dinner, macro planning, vacation planning?
No, I haven't even thought of that. Do you use it for that?
I use something else for it. I have another task management for personal stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I use
which is overkill. This is overkill.
I have a MyFitnessPal, and there's a special one called Fuelin that gets my stuff just right around my workouts. And we just do like curbside pickup for groceries. And I guess we probably should because our kids are like doing all the things. And it's a lot between my husband and I, like juggling house, children, both of our workloads. Yeah, it's a lot.
So I map out my personal Facebook on Notion. I do my grocery list. I get everything delivered, but in real time, I want to make sure I'm really anal with groceries and what I order, right? So I always want to make sure I have all the right amounts. When I go on vacation and I pack, I plan out the whole week and I write it out. And like my social media, are you surprised about this with me?
I mean, no, I guess not. I didn't think you were. Wow, that's awesome. That's like organization to a whole another level. I think my husband might proper leave me if I did stuff like that. But
oh, my wife thinks I'm crazy. Trust me. But so you can do a lot of those things in Monday, but sometimes I prefer just to write in Notion.
In Notion.
I don't know. Okay. Like, do you ever plan out any writing on like what you're going to write about or post about or talk about?
So I don't. It's whatever's in the moment. So I get up really early, about 5 a.m, and I'm having my coffee. That's the time when stuff will come to me, or as I'm running. Those are like shower thoughts, like running thoughts.
Sure.
And that's the time when I have some of my best like business ideas and social media stuff like that. So I don't pre-plan. It's just kind of off the cuff, but maybe
what I learned from like a writer's viewpoint is to have a queue of ideas. So I have a file on either Notion or Monday called the writer's queue.
Oh.
And I put all the ideas in there. Some get written about right then. Some I just save for a rainy day.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's
because there are times I get writer's block for sure. And I'd like to post more than once a day. It would be great. So that's a great idea.
Yeah, got to have a queue. How do you introduce new tech to your team without making it seem crazy? to him?
No, it's crazy. It's pretty much.
Yeah, I was all, yeah, like, does she have a secret? Because I don't know it. Yeah.
That's funny. So, like, I do John's feedback loop. And on one of the feedbacks, it was like, can we learn how to do one thing before you add another? It really was. So I just keep revisiting it and revisiting it and revisiting it. I use Fellow, I use Real Scout, obviously Sierra, Fub. And as new team members come on, we keep revisiting. And I also find that older team members are like appreciative of the reminder. Now that my onboarding, I train my agents as they onboard. So I make sure then that my brand new agents really know what they're doing, like going into it. It took a long time. Like it was a real mess at first. It really, really was. But as time has gone on and I built more and more of the boat and just kind of nailed down like what exactly I should be, what seats I need to sit in right now before I can get the sales director seat filled. Yeah, I make sure my baby agents really know how to use those tools well, because they're not cheap. So we need to make sure to get a good ROI on them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So at the same time, a lot of team leaders are nervous about trying new things like digital marketing or other tech. What advice do you give those guys?
Quit being a bitch. No, don't be nervous.
Good answer.
Don't be nervous. Like, what are you nervous about? I mean, unless it's like a 12-month contract and it's ridiculously expensive,
Sure.
let's do it. Like, yeah.
Unless you get a text message from a lead company you never heard before that charges you like $1,000 onboarding and a 12-month contract, don't do any of those.
Right.
Anything else? It's interesting. Most of the other websites that we talked about, my face is on the homepage. So then it's good.
Yeah. There. Just follow Suneet's head and you'll be good.
So what do you think are the biggest challenges for realtors right now? Maybe not even just in your market, but just in the conversations that you have, period.
Overall, period. I mean, obviously interest rates, they're a huge challenge.
Is it obvious? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, that's a big scary thing for people right now. I know a lot of agents that are single parents, and this is a very hard thing to do when you're a single parent. I think in general, like trying to figure out how to juggle that all, and some of them have other jobs. That's another thing. The agent with a job in addition to this job. I think that that's common. Like it's tough for people, right? I shared somebody's post today. 74% of agents sold nothing last year. And then 2% sold 5 to 11. So,
is that what your whole post said? It was from Jared James. I just saw it. Then I was, that looks interesting. I'll come back to that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, whether or not we want to talk about it, a lot of agents have to do like the gig economy or part-time or even full-time jobs. And so I think balancing that and team leaders being open to finding a way to onboard and train around that, I think are going to do well in the upcoming year or two.
I mean, that's pretty, interest rates and inventory and people not knowing what to do and people being distracted. And honestly, none of this has ever changed. When interest rates are low, that's a problem. When inventory is high, that's a problem, right? People not knowing what to do, people not working. How about
that's a great point about distraction too. There is a lot of time spent on social media and it's good for some things. It's not great for others. I do think as a collective, it has affected our neuroplasticity. Like I think that it has rerouted neural pathways to the point where we have trouble paying attention long enough to absorb ideas that we need for sales psychology and just to function properly as a human being. That's another one. COVID really forced everybody to withdraw. And I'm meeting a lot of agents that are having trouble like opening back up and getting back out there and not being afraid of having a conversation with people, whether that's in person or over the phone. Like I do encounter that quite a bit. So
yeah. Social media is a big distraction for a lot of people. And I want to encourage everybody to set an alarm on your phone for 8 a.m. and then go to settings in your phone. You know where the settings button is? And when you go to settings, do a little search on the top and type in color filter. And when you see the color filter thing, then there's a little swipey Apple swipe and you swipe it and you turn it off until the end of the day or maybe till your lunch break. And you keep that shit in grayscale all day long. you will be more productive. I just made you all a bunch of money if you actually do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Less stimulating.
Yes. Okay. What is your advice for real estate team leaders out there right now?
Don't worry about why you get into it. I hear so many people telling me you get into it for the wrong reason. You get into it. Whatever motivation and impetus that you have for wanting to be a team leader, embrace it. Just fucking embrace it. If you want to get rich off it, awesome. Embrace it. You'll like figure it out. If you need to prove to somebody else that you're better than they think you are, awesome. Great. You can use that almost your shadow side, dark side energy to start, and then it will evolve. If you're meant to stay in it, it will evolve and morph, and you'll understand that was great to get you started and that fire was great to get you started. But as you go, you need something bigger than that, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, just do it and don't be a perfectionist about it. I was too busy getting ready to get ready. And then I was like, then I felt bad after I get started, like, oh, well, did I get into it for the right reasons? But like, I've had a complete 180 mind shift.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question well.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. Yeah. It was perfect. If somebody's curious about Reside and talking to you more about that, where should they go?
They should find me on Facebook. Super easy. Jessica Boswell. Instagram, J Boswell Team. Email, jessica@jboswellteam.com.
Hey, that's pretty easy. Mm-hmm. Jessica@jboswellteam.com. Hell yeah.
Yes.
What if somebody wants to send you a hot referral or learn more about LPT?
Oh, they can call me, 860-777-0703.
There it is, guys. You got every which way to get a hold of Jessica. Jessica, what's big and next for you?
What's big and next for me? My trail racing cup and 50 agents, world domination, LPT, all over Connecticut.
Yeah. All right, Jessica, I'm so glad that we were finally able to do this. I appreciate you so much. I love seeing your growth, and I'm excited to see what you do next. Hopefully, I'm riding right along with you and get a front row seat, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, a big shout out to Jessica. Make sure you reach out to her for any of those things sound cool. And if you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like and subscribe and share with a friend. We don't run any ads on this, so you show your appreciation and the fact that you like the show by giving us a thumbs up, sharing with a friend, leaving a review. If you have any more questions about the Reside platform and want to explore that, we got the link in the show notes, resideplatform.com. We are always here dropping fresh content every week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode of the Reside Platform Podcast.